Hey there, welcome everybody. Yeah, I'm just having some technical difficulties. Just hold on tight and I will help you. I'll be there with you shortly. Okay. Hey there, welcome everybody. This is the suicide prevention symposium that you can create in your hold on, in your high school. And we are going to get started. So let's start with where you're tuning in from. I'm in Chester Springs, PA. Where are you guys joining in from? Can you hear me okay? Okay, wonderful. Aditya's from Monroe. That's great. Scottsdale, wonderful. Wonderful. Yes, Niveda's here. Amazing. So I'll just go over what this whole effort is about. So we are going to teach you to create uh, suicide prevention symposiums and any talk or any effort in your high school. We are going to give you step by step instructions as to how to prevent suicide. That's it, right? It can be a small effort, a big effort, it doesn't matter, but something just needs to be done. And we are going to teach you how to do that in your high school, who to approach, how to conduct a webinar. It can be a small meet and everything. We're going to like lay it out for you, and in return for you taking this time and putting in all the effort, you will get volunteering hours from Inspire Youth. Okay, so this is a suicide prevention movement that we are starting, and we want you to be part of it. And I don't want you to just think that, hey, I just want to do this so that it looks good on my application or things like that. We want like really dedicated effort to help a lot of students that are struggling with this. Even the smallest of things that you do will have a very big impact. And I'm going to tell you about certain incidents that have happened that really could have been helped in that situation. Okay, so any questions, put them in the chat. Just hang in there. We will give you all the instructions that is needed to start a moment. It can be anything. How to talk about it, how to talk to your friend, anything. Okay, so just a minute. Let me just quickly grab my presentation and we can get going. Okay, and I apologize for the delay. There are always some kind of technical difficulties that we encounter. So please bear with me, and thank you for joining in. Okay, so I'm just going to give you a quick presentation and we will get started. I'm going to present it. Okay. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so yes, this is my screen. I'm going to quickly give you a small presentation and we will get started. Okay, so how to create a symposium on suicide prevention in high school. Okay, a symposium, don't get intimidated by this fancy word of symposium or all that. It's just a simple talk. You're going to gather a few people and speak about it. And you're going to continuously speak about it, not just once or twice. You're going to do that consistently. Okay. And okay, so what is our mission? Our mission is to save lives. That is it. Even the smallest of effort you can do in comforting someone who's having like some kind of a depressing thought, it will go a very, very long way. We're going to equip you with knowledge and tools that you can share and even recognize. Okay. And basically, we want to prevent a loss of life. It can be very, very small. We are not expecting you to be like healthcare professionals or replace any kind of medical help or therapy. No, we are just teaching you to lend a friendly shoulder to a person who just it needs you at that moment. Okay, they are in school, they don't have access to any of the support. They have you, it's your friend, right? So that's how simple it is. Okay. And the broader benefits of this initiative is basically you are going to build leadership skills, right? We want you to develop leadership skills. It's not just about being a club leader, or you just started a club or anything. This is also a very, very impactful leadership quality that you can develop. Okay, organization skills, right? You're going to go and speak to different people. You're going to learn about how and who to approach in school. We are going to give you that kind of blueprint to go about it. Okay. And also, of course, colleges are looking for impact. Okay. They are looking for students who are not doing cookie cutter activities, whose activities go beyond the surface thing of joining a club, and it's like you're not a surface person, you're going deeper into a kind of a mental health issue or something that's like so very important. Even a smallest effort is going to yield a lot of benefit in this area. Okay. And also the main thing is we want you to be an advocate of inclusion of suicide prevention in the health curriculum. Okay. We want you to go and approach people who are in charge of the health curriculum and incorporate suicide prevention methods or tools or techniques in that. Okay. And we want you to spread the awareness and education about suicide prevention. Yes, it's a very, very big monstrous effort. I get it. I'm not asking you to do everything one day, but smallest of effort from your side is going to be extremely impactful. Remember that. You can only make that change, right? Okay. And I mean, participating in a very rare and impactful extracurricular activity. 99% of the students are not doing it. You showed up today. I mean, please pat yourself on your back because you showed up today, took your time to learn about this, and we are going to give you all the tools for that, right? And yeah, you're going to stand out. You're going to make a difference in the community. Your personal growth is going to go up because you have got to be the go-to. You are going to become the go-to person for this, and you'll see a tremendous change in your own personality. Got it? So let's all do this together. We are here for you. Okay. And I just want to introduce Nived. Nived is the person who's going to guide you through this whole process because he's been working with the Downingtown health curriculum. He's working with the Philadelphia school system to bring in the suicide prevention. Also, he's working on a domestic violence act to be made into a policy in Pennsylvania. And he has two PVSA awards. And he has had experience conducting these talks in high school. And this is who is going to be guiding us today. So, without further ado, I'm just going to get Nived over. Okay, I'm just going to stop sharing. Hold on a minute. Okay, and yeah, Nived, go ahead.
Um, 1 second. Sorry. All right. Can everyone see my screen? Yeah. Okay. So hi, my name is Naved, as Coach Joe just introduced me as, and today I'm here to talk about, how can you get involved in preventing suicides in your high school and throughout your state and throughout everywhere, because it's a big problem, and I'm going to get into it right now. So you might be asking to yourself, well, why is it a problem? Well, you've heard about it, I'm sure you have, but it's a problem because it's been rising. High school itself is designed to be stressful. It's designed to put you through the rigors of life. But students are students. They're still young, their brains are still developing, they're still going through puberty, and as a result, they react to things differently, more brashly than they should. And it's very easy for them to get depressed, and that depression ends up getting compounded and compounded and compounded until they could seriously consider suicide, and many commit suicide. In fact, it's staggering because 20% of students in high school have seriously considered suicide. 20% of students in high school haven't considered much, but the fact that they're considering ending their lives before it has really gotten started is scary. In fact, it's the third leading cause of death in high schools. But suicides are actually really preventable. 70% of students who commit suicide let off the signs. And in my school is particularly competitive, as I'm sure a lot of yours are. And whenever a student committed suicide due to like stress, I know one student who failed their Keystone exams, who which is a very big, which is the way that you have to graduate here in PA. Like if you finish Algebra 1, you have to take a Keystone exam, and they ended up failing that exam, and they took their own life. And it wasn't immediate. They were thinking about it for a while, and they committed suicide. And when I talked when I talked to the friends of that person, it was I wish I knew. I wish I had seen those signs. Let's change that. Let's make sure that kids see those signs. And suicide prevention is taught in our health classes, but it doesn't really work. This is something I talked about with my health teachers. It's something they're completely frustrated about. Students don't really pay attention in health class. Students don't really care. When in health class, they slack off, a lot of them sleep because they treat it as a free A rather than as a learning lesson. So, one thing that I've been working on is to make students more engaged in learning about the signs of suicide so that they can see it in their peers. How to get involved. So, the first way is through the Suicide Symposium, which is what Coach Joe just explained. Yeah, and symposium is a hard word. I mean, it's a scary word, but it's just a conference about a subject. So it's where you just explain, have discussions with other people about suicide prevention. And we're going to be at these suicide preventions, you're going to be talking about what the symptoms of suicide are and how to see them in other people so that we can all be active members in deflating suicide. Here's how you create one. So the first thing you have to do is get in contact with relevant authority. For us, it's a principal. If you go to a private school, it might be a headmaster. But here, you speak to them about what the idea is. I'm trying to create a symposium about suicide so that so that students don't feel as depressed. When I presented this to my principal, he was all ears. He's like, "Yeah, you want the library? Sure." Because at the end of the day, you will never meet a teacher who doesn't care about their students in some way. You'll never meet an administrator who doesn't care about their students in some way. So they do everything they can, but they're so stretched that there's not much they can do. So taking initiative and talking to your principal, talking to the relevant authority gets you their support. They're going to market it for you. They're going to help you get the relevant authorities to help you. It's like this, getting in contact with professionals. You're not going to be the only one talking at these symposiums usually. Usually, there will be someone there with you. Like I tried to have my health teacher at one of these. They understand suicide because they've been trained in it. And teaching it, engaging, where kids are actually paying attention at a suicide symposium rather than in a health class, rather than a different environment, it'll go a long way. And don't forget that although this seems like a lot of work, one student saved is worth all of this trouble. And the third thing is getting people to show up. So for these suicide symposiums, you actually need to market them a bit. So it's part of it is word of mouth. Part of it is distributing flyers across the school. Like put it here. You want snacks? Come to the suicide symposium. Third period, library. Kids will come. A lot of kids will stay. A lot of kids will come for the snacks, but that's okay. And then marketing your event through teachers and social media is probably the best way to get involved. I work at clubs in my high school, and the best way I've seen students get involved is just marketing it on social media. And then your teachers, if they're aware of it, they're going to tell students about it. And then your principal, getting your principal on board, he's going to market it too. He's going to put it in his, we have like weekly emails from our principal. I'm sure he'll put it in there. And then once you've created the symposium, it's about making that impact. So while you're there, create the materials. Make an impactful slideshow about the statistics, why we need to get involved, why the numbers are so high, and how you can see the signs. Encourage people who are on the edge to seek proper resources where they can find them. And that's where your guests come into play. Your guests are going to want to help their friends. There is not a friend who wants to see their friends suffer. Then he's not a real friend. My friends have seen me teetering and have tried to help and have tried to help me. They told me to go to the office, talk to someone. They told me to talk to a teacher, talk to a friend, calm down. But that only works if a student knows what the signs are. And once you've done all this, congrats. You've done the hard work, and we laud you for it. But there can still be more to be done. Ask the students in the symposium whether they would be interested in creating it throughout public settings, not just high schools, but in gatherings and in we have like meets here, like Hindu group meets, Christian group meets, or where all these religions meet. If they would like to speak to their relevant groups about this type of topic, teach them, mentor them, direct them to the right authority. And the second way is something that I'm very familiar with. It's directly advocating for change. So this is where my experiences come into play. If you see the pictures on the right, I recently spoke at the Philadelphia Board of Education meeting about how there is a need for different ways of considering suicide, different ways of considering suicide prevention. As I've said before, administrators and teachers all want to help, but because they're teaching 25 kids every class and then having at least 6 to 8 classes about it, it's hopeless. Teachers are not going to see the signs in students unless the student approaches them. But students don't approach. They get clouded in their own thoughts, which is something that we can change. So the first thing that I did was I was asked as a member of a council to consider why kids are committing suicide so much. And I came up with the plan and understood the reasons to be that kids don't pay attention. Kids don't see the signs in their fellow students. And that's a problem because the signs are, I'm going to kill myself. What's that? What's the difference between a joke and actually meaning it? It's hard to see, but when we teach students, it'll be easy to see. Then I approached the Philadelphia Board of Education about my proposal, and I'm currently working with the board member to implement interactive suicide prevention strategies in the school district. So what that means is a lot of school districts have talks with people who have been close to committing suicide or have family members who have committed suicide. But what I've noticed is kids skip them, and kids don't really pay attention to them because it's an auditorium. My class has 450 kids in it. If I see a guy on a stage talking to all 450 of us, it doesn't really mean anything to me. it doesn't really mean anything to me because his case is so isolated. But when he's talking to me in a closer setting, like in a health class, that lesson sticks with me. Because if I'm having a talk with him, it's not just about a free A, it's about learning. So we can teach kids to learn the proper strategies. And then here are the three ways that you can directly advocate for change. So the first way is the way I did, which is one of the many ways I did was asking my principal to connect. I mean, I know you talked about it. I know we talked about it with the suicide symposium already, but here asking your principal about the idea that you have, and then telling them you would like to talk to a relevant authority about it, like your health curriculum leader. There's always going to be someone in the administration who creates the health curriculum and who manages the health curriculum. And so talk to this person about making health classes more interactive. Having direct talks with people actually decreases it. That's something I've actually had discussions with about, because the health curriculum leader who I talked to asked me, can you please get more data? Can we please get more of an understanding about how to make health class more engaging? And that's something I spent a lot of time doing this summer, talking to students from other districts and asking them, how would you like health class to be more engaging? Do you feel like you're actually learning something? And the vast majority of responses I got was no. That's something we can change. And the second one is testifying to your school board about how the problem can be best solved and the best way to do it. So the way I did my thing was I got in contact with the people who organized the testifications at the school board, and I made a speech and I spoke to them for about 3.5 minutes, not necessarily tearing apart them, not necessarily saying that what they were doing was wrong and everything they said was wrong, but that we can add on to it and then save lives at basically no additional cost. And this is probably the way that gets you the most connections. And this is the way that I've seen actually gets a lot of work done as well, because it puts you in direct contact with the superintendent. And parents always react to that type of thing. Parents are always listening to like what other students are saying while they're testifying. So while I was testifying in Philadelphia School Board, a lot of people behind me were saying amen, thank you. And a lot of people were backing it. That actually put a lot of pressure on the board to talk to me after, because a couple board members came up to me after and asked me what my idea was and how we can help and how they can help me. These school board members always want to help. And then the third is creating an advocacy group with students. This is the way probably the way that'll get you the most support. Because if you create a group of like-minded students in your high school and advocate for change, it's worked throughout history. The civil rights movement, the LGBTQ plus movement, the AIDS movement, it's worked. The hippie movement. It's a strategy that always works, because administrators are always going to listen to something that a vast majority of students believe, as long as it's not outlandish, and this is not outlandish. And it'll make your teachers and student leaders more likely to listen to you. So I want to summarize all the points. Doing these activities isn't necessarily easy, but it will pay off for you in the end. While it does look good on a college app, it really does, because suicide is not necessarily something that's touched on beyond just the surface. Going deep inside of it like this and actually working to ensure that suicides don't happen rather than just volunteering, it'll look great. Being a leader is what you want, but it's more than just college. Advocating now will teach you valuable skills when you grow up. It'll teach you public speaking. It'll teach you how to connect with people who are significantly more advanced than you. There are going to be people more advanced than you in the idea of suicide prevention. But talking to those relevant authorities, getting their opinions, pestering them, it'll help you in the real world. Because for example, when you're in college and you want an internship, you are talking to people who are more advanced than you. And a lot of the time, they're going to ghost you. So how are you going to follow up with them? How are you going to ensure that you're going to get that internship? How are you going to ensure that you're going to get that job? Students, I know this seems like a lot of work, and it is. It's not easy, but I promise you that for every life, that even if you save just one life, even if you just help one student who's teetering on the edge, you've succeeded. You have. And is there any questions about this?
Okay, so yes, and I just want to quickly tell you, I want to thank Nived for coming here to do this. I just want to quickly let you know, just going to share something really quick, and we will give you a Google form that you can fill out for which you will get hours today. So hold on 1 second. Okay, so one. Okay, so let me just go ahead and let you know what are the special, we are going to give you incentives for starting this in your school. Okay, so basically what you're going to get is we are going to track hours that you spend for this initiative in your school from Inspire Youth. We do have a 501c3, so we will give you volunteering hours. We will recognize you with certification, and if you want to write a blog about it, we will publish it in our Inspire Youth website. You can also create a project about it, and we will post it on our Inspire Youth website. Okay, and also to help you with the symposium or educating others, we also have a free mini course on mental health in teens, which has been recorded with a mental health specialist. You will have access to that mini course as well, that you can use to help your classmates and friends and students in your high school. So we are encouraging you. We will give you volunteering hours again. I'm repeating it, from Inspire Youth to take on this suicide prevention effort. It can be a symposium, it can be a flyer, even the simplest thing that you do, we will reward you with volunteering hours. Okay. And so to track the volunteering hours for this particular session, I'm just going to give you this link, which you can fill out, and you will get hours for coming here and participating. Okay. So I just put that in the chat. Okay. So, yeah, please fill this out and you will be able to get hours for attending this call. Okay. And you have complete access to going ahead and starting this. And if you are interested, we will send you a volunteering tracking sheet that you can use to track your hours. Okay. So, thank you very much for coming. We're not done here. So, please post your questions in the chat, and we okay, any questions that you may have? Okay, so I'm just going to post this. Okay, 1 second, where did that question go? Okay, Aditya. Okay, so this question is from Aditya Nived. It says, if we were to write a blog to be published on the topic, where would we submit? Aditya, we will provide you all that information. Great question. I'm just going to share that with you right here. I'm just going to share with you. We have an Inspire Youth website, just the same organization. As you can see here, we have blogs here. So if you write the blog, it cannot be AI written, so it has to be handwritten. We will post the blog on this site, and then you can use this blog and embed it in your resume. Okay, it's a great question, Aditya. Okay. Yeah. Any other questions from anyone else? Yeah. Any questions for Nived? We are here to help you build this symposium or the talk. You want to ask us any questions or even mention us? Yeah. anybody wants to share any insights about any personal incidents that they've encountered, I want to share one, if I have your permission. So basically, when my older son was in school, one of his friends kind of was having a moment, right? He was not doing very well, and he was saying like, "Oh, I'm just going to go bang my head against the wall and like end myself." Right? My older son, he was a child himself. He didn't quite react very well. He didn't know what to do. He gathered all his friends and kind of went together and tried to console him, but the person felt like he was let down by my older son, right? So I think a little bit of a skill or some kind of knowledge would have really helped my older son help that child. He still carries that guilt with him that he didn't react properly. So this is a good opportunity for you people to like help and support anybody who's going through a moment. Okay. Okay. So Soham Das, the website is inspireyouth.net. .net. Okay. Yeah, this is the website where we will publish your blogs and everything. And also, please remember, this effort is not about publishing a blog. Your blog is not going to help for suicide prevention. Okay, so we want you to literally do something in your high school to prevent this. So, writing a blog is not a thing that we are expecting for this effort. Okay, Nived, do you want to add anything to this?
So I put my contact information in the chat. I'll post it again. Please email me, call me if you have any questions. I understand that you might be looking at this as an extracurricular opportunity, and I know it's a fine extracurricular opportunity, but view it as more than that. You view it as a change in your community, because the kids who go to those super elite colleges are not necessarily the ones who view everything as an extracurricular, but if you view things as like making a change, making an impact in the community. So I promise you that if you put your full force into this, and if you put your full force into this initiative, make do. I think that I'm very sure that good things will come out for you. I can almost promise it. Yeah, I'll put my contact information in here again.
Okay, excellent. Right. Yeah. So if you don't have any other questions, we're going to let you go. If you have any thoughts about this, please do share. To get like volunteering hours, you do have to fill out the form that I share so that you get volunteering hours for showing up today. Okay. So yeah. So let us know if you have any questions. If not, uh, I would like you to enjoy the rest of the evening. Okay. So basically, this is Nived's contact number. He has experience approaching the Philadelphia School Board and everywhere, and how to like make that change in the health curriculum and conduct those symposiums or even talks that is there. Okay, so this is the number to get in touch with us, and also please fill up that form to get hours today. Okay, if there are no other questions, I'm going to let you guys go. Have a wonderful evening. Any parting words, Nived? Uh, Sorry, I muted you.
All right. Thank you so much, guys, for coming. I hope some of you pursue this. Some of you pursue this initiative. I think that it'll be very helpful to you and very helpful to the students who are in need. Thank you.
Okay, then. Thank you, everybody. Bye now.